Hey, Janet. I was just wondering if you think that our current military operation could save us against an alien invasion.
I'm going to take a very hard stance on this and say, hell no.
Yeah, absolutely not. If we were invaded by aliens right now, we would all be toast. So we're going to talk
Toast.
about it. The 2026 movie War Machine. Brr, 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 brr.
This is Should I Watch That? Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I am Janet.
And I am Rachel. And today we're going to talk about the 2026 movie War Machine. And it was directed by Patrick Hughes. Janet, would you like me to give you a little descriptiones?
I would, and then I have my own personal description I will give after you give that one.
Perfect. So, this story follows a group of U.S. Army Ranger recruits undergoing the brutal final phase of their Special Operations Selection training. What begins as a routine military exercise deep in the wilderness quickly turns into a nightmare when the team encounters a massive extraterrestrial robotic weapon. Blah, 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 blah. The situation escalates when it becomes clear the robot is not the only one, hinting at a larger alien invasion and setting up a wider global conflict. The film blends military action, sci-fi horror, and survivor thriller elements, often described as having a tone similar to the films like Predator or War of the Worlds, but with a modern robot war twist. Janet, take it away.
I like to call this movie Reacher Fights Aliens. And whoever on the Chat GPT side wrote that description was high or should be fired because that makes it sound like it was a good movie
It was
and
not.
something that I would like to watch.
Twas not a good movie.
Twas not. So this stupid movie stars Alan Ritchson as Recruit 81.
Mm-hmm.
And you may know him from the Amazon series Jack Reacher,
Mm-hmm.
Reacher, whatever. He looks like Reacher should look per the books,
Mm-hmm.
but his acting makes me sad. And it wasn't a whole lot better in this movie. And then the other person who jumped out at me, not literally, was Dennis Quaid. He plays, I think, Staff Sergeant Sheridan or something like that.
He plays senior military officer. And
senior military officer.
He is the one overseeing the training program. So go ahead.
Yeah, and he was fine. He was Dennis Quaid, you know.
He was a regular Dennis.
Whatevs.
Yep.
Who is also 71 years old, by the way.
Married to a 32-year-old.
Yeah, when did that happen?
Ugh.
I mean,
barf.
Either way. Yeah, so soldiers, training mission, a lot of gore, like a lot of military battle kind of gore, if that's your thing, which doesn't bother me. You know, I like some action and some gore.
And just so y'all know, before we get into too much more talking about this movie, spoiler alerts. If you have any desire to watch this movie, which I don't know why you would, we are going to give it all away. We're talking about the whole thing because it was such a stupid movie that I just don't think you should waste your time.
But we're going to save you some time and maybe make you laugh a little.
Oh, I'm going to make you laugh for sure.
That you say you're funny.
Well, I mean, okay, so basically, let's do a little bit of the backstory here. So the main guy, Alan Ritchson's character, 81. Okay, I guess we'll just refer to him as. I don't even remember if he had a name in the movie. I'm sure he did, but whatever it was.
I think he did. Yeah.
The Nameless Man, number 81, which is irritating that they did that. But anyways, um, the first note that I made about this movie is they don't let you have facial hair. Okay? If you're in military, especially in some sort of a training scenario, you are not allowed to have facial hair. And main character had like a beard and mustache the whole time.
Mhm.
So that is inaccurate. Okay? Get with the program. Shave it. Get that baby face out because that you just can't have facial hair. So I don't know what y'all are doing. But the movie kind of started out with him in a military operation. I think they later said it was in Kuwait, maybe
Mhm.
something like that. And he is a engineer, technician, whatever. Basically, a guy that fixes like the equipment if it's messed up. So the trucks and whatever.
Mhm.
So he's out in the desert and he's fixing this truck. And it's his brother. His brother's also a military guy. And at this point, they're just in the army. They're army dudes on a mission. Well, while they're out on the mission, they get bombed, they get attacked, and his brother is hit, and he is also hit, and he's got a bone sticking out of his leg, but somehow manages to pick up his brother
Mhm.
and carry him like 10 miles or something to a base or somewhere. And, I've never had a leg broken with a bone sticking out, but I'm pretty confident you would not be able to walk on it, nor would you be able to carry a large grown man of 200 plus pounds, even 100 feet, let alone 10 miles. So when that happened, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me right now. This is so stupid. So that's the beginning of the movie.
Mhm. And okay, so adrenaline, I'll give you some points that adrenaline could get you a little bit of a distance, maybe,
Maybe, but not with a bone sticking out
but
of your leg
not with a
would
bone
not
sticking out
work
of your leg.
properly. And you
No, it
can't
wouldn't.
hop on one leg carrying a 250-pound man with all his equipment, you know?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. But the reason that he wants to go into the Army Rangers is because his brother wanted to do it. So, fast forward, it's like 2 years later, and he's finally accepted to do the Army Ranger training or whatever, and they make fun of him because he's old. He's like much older than the other recruits and all that shit. Um, but it's because he had to heal from his injury
Mhm.
from having his bone sticking out of his leg, obviously. And then he's got nightmares, so he's got all this PTSD. So of course he does.
So instead of dealing with the issues and going to therapy or whatever, he's channeling his rage and his anger into becoming an army ranger, I guess.
Well, he's doing it for his brother.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna do
there you
this
go.
for my brother. And I'm not going to make any friends while I'm here because I'm just here for my brother. Because he like won't
That's
talk
pretty
to,
much how it goes.
yeah, because he
Yeah.
won't talk to anybody. And he's like,
Mhm.
he's outrunning all the other guys and whatever. He's like the badass, but he's quiet.
Mhm.
I'm the
So
quiet
again,
older badass sitting over here eating my dinner by myself while you guys all become friends because I'm mysterious.
and he's also waiting for Reacher to start filming again, so he's just killing time in between. So,
I haven't watched
I
Reacher,
don't know.
but I mean, this man, okay, I will say the actor, he is nice to look at. He's buff and has muscles and a very nice looking face, and his eyes are beautiful. That's what
Yeah,
I
he's a
kept.
big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Big dude.
That's what I kept noticing, like, especially in like the battle scenes and stuff. He'd be all covered in dirt, and then he'd look up, and his eyes are like this really pretty color, and I was like, hey, But that was the end of it for me. I don't do well with that macho weird
No,
shit. Like
emotionless.
I'm not gonna talk about my feelings because I'm a tough man. Like, get out of here. You're gonna implode and annihilate your whole family. Like, go, like, get out
Probably,
of here.
yes.
So,
And according to the IMDb, he did his own stunts too,
oh my
including that underwater pool thing where they were having to like do
oh,
lunges underwater with weights or something like that.
well, I think they were,
Whatever.
yeah. Okay, so let me explain
Hmm.
that scene a little better than
Oh
Janet
yeah,
did.
sorry.
There was a scene where it's like a training thing, right? And each of the recruits has two dumbbells, heavy dumbbells in each hand, and they jump into a pool and they're supposed to walk across the bottom of the pool. So the weights are weighing them down, right? To be down there.
Hmm.
Um, and you're supposed to see who can get the furthest, basically, without having to drop them to come up for air. Well, this idiot, this absolute fucking idiot, he walks so far and he doesn't come up for air, so they have to pull him out and give him mouth to mouth resuscitation because he about drowned himself.
Hmm.
Okay, but you know what? He's a big tough guy. I will drown
He's in.
before I will come up for air because I'm doing it for my brother. That's my new
Wait, why is he
voice.
doing it again? He's doing it
For
why?
my brother.
Okay, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm sure I heard you correctly last
Oh my God. Oh, so that was fun. And then, so like the final test of all of this is that they actually drop the recruits into a supposed like real world battle sort of scenario. So they take them on helicopters and they drop them in the wilderness and they've got to do this mission and then get to the finish line and that's all he cares about is getting across the finish line for my brother. I can't stop. It's like
I know.
it's like my Hulk Hogan voice. I think that's gonna make an appearance from time to time now that I've made it.
Okay.
Anyways,
I
so
like
they
it.
drop him out in the wilderness. They got to do stuff. Pretty quickly, they realize something is afoot. Something is not right. And then they like find this big machine thing and they try to blow it up, right? They put like dynamite on it. They try to blow it
Mhm.
up. Well, that pisses it off. So it stands up and just starts fucking murdering all of them. So now they got to get away. They have to like climb mountains and jump off cliffs and shit to get away from this machine. It's a war machine. Get it? The name of the movie.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the machine wants war, I think, is maybe what they were trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. The machine is
The alien
the
machine
alien machine. Is
wants
so fucking
war.
stupid. Yeah.
I know.
So, anyways, long story short, because there's a lot that happens. I mean, they're running, they're getting away. One of them's injured. They're trying to carry the injured guy away from this whole scenario.
Mhm.
And that makes it really difficult to get away. But of course, they're not going to leave a man behind. Anyways, so at the end, he's the only one that survives. Of course he is.
Of course.
He,
Like, who else was gonna survive?
yeah,
I don't know.
all the rest of them die. He couldn't save not one of them. Actually, did the injured guy survive that they had on the flat thing that
I
they were
don't
carrying
remember.
around? I can't remember.
I had lost so much interest at that point that
I
I
know.
just sort of glazed over.
Yeah, I agree. It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It also
he
it feels
survives.
it feels like it was based on a video game. That was my first thought. So I even Googled it to see if it was, and apparently it's not.
Mm.
But that's the feeling it had to
Mhm.
me the whole time. Like I pictured, I am 81 and it's a first person shooter game and you're trying to stop the aliens or something.
Yeah,
That's the feel.
yeah, it was very stupid.
And if I must say, at the end, because it was all about being realistic, assume he's been through ranger training,
Mhm.
right? assume he's been on this mission that lasted a couple of days at least because it was dark and then it was light.
Yep.
Never saw him eat.
No.
Don't know that I ever saw him hydrate.
Nope.
He's full of anger and shame and PTSD.
Yes.
He's been going on adrenaline this whole time.
100%.
So he gets back to base. And what's the first thing that they do? Put him on a fucking helicopter and send him out on a mission to kill some more aliens.
Well, I don't think he was meant to go again. Because remember when they got
but he did.
But
he went.
He jumped on. He wasn't supposed to go. Yeah, so when he hopped back on that helicopter, I'm pretty sure he wasn't supposed to. He just the troops were running and he was like, "I'm doing this for my brother," right? So I think he ran and jumped on the helicopter because he's a psycho. Because remember, he was sitting there and the other people on the helicopter were like doing kind of like a roll call, like, "Hey, you're here, you're here, you're here." And they're like, "Who's that guy?" And everybody was like, "I don't know." So he wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay. So there are numerous differences between myself and this character. Allow me to highlight a couple of those differences for you.
Okay.
First, I would not look good in camouflage, army green, those colors. Not good. So I'm not going to go there. I would need a nap.
Correct.
Before I got back on the helicopter. I don't really want to carry a gun, but I think I would probably have to, considering the circumstances. I would also need at least like a cheeseburger and fries and a big old Coke Zero and probably some Gatorade or something before I went forward. And then another nap. And then when I woke up from my second nap and had a shower, I would consider getting on the helicopter. So if you don't know me, now you know me a little better. Those are some of the major differences between me and the character 81 in this movie.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I'm the same. Okay, me and Janet are similar. We be napping. Okay, we
be napping.
We be taking lots of naps. All right.
we be snacking. We be snacking and drinking.
Snacking and drinking and napping. That's what we're good at. Not this stuff. But
no.
I kind of okay, first what I want to do, Janet, I want to read the notes that I took while I was watching the movie because
let's do that.
I think they're hilarious. And then I want to get into my indignant outrage.
Okay.
Can we do that?
All right. Okay. Yes. Let's start with notes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Notes, and I already said this, they don't let you have facial hair in the military. That was the first thing I said. And then as they were going along, listen, everybody, I do not read descriptions or watch previews of movies before I watch them because I want to be surprised. I feel like they give too much away in trailers and in descriptions. So I'm happily watching this movie unhappily watching this movie. And then I realized, and I wrote this in my notes, wait, aliens? With 3 question marks. Because I was not expecting aliens, okay? I just thought it was going to be a regular military movie. And then I said, or a weapons testing company. Right? Like they're testing out some new military weapons on these troops. Then there was a scene after they got like hit by this war machine, okay? And one of the guys is impaled on like a tree or like a big branch or something. And my note was, never take something out of an impaled person. They will die. And then
they just pull him right off. And I'm like, oh my God, you definitely just killed him.
Well, I mean, I don't think he had I don't think he was going to live anyway, but it was very stupid of them to do that. And then he died. Of course he did. Of course, the one old man will save the day. Talking about 81. He's saving the day. And then I wrote, this is so fucking stupid. I guess he's the only one that can save people. Because apparently
clearly
no other person could, because only him. And
because
then
he's the star. Yeah.
and then I wrote, "Oh, the asteroid," because in the beginning of the movie they were talking about an asteroid. So I wrote, "Oh, the asteroid. It's alien. Jesus fucking Christ."
Oh, that asteroid. Oh, okay. Now I'm with you.
And then I wrote, "Worst movie ever."
Mhm,
And then I
mhm.
wrote in quotes, "What would your brother do?" Because that's what the injured guy said to 81. Like at a crucial point, he goes, "What would your brother do?" And in my mind, I was thinking, well, he wouldn't fucking do anything because he's dead.
Right.
Okay. And then
It's hard for dead people to step up and help out sometimes.
I wrote, "I'm pretty sure aliens aren't as dumb as humans."
Mhm.
Because he ends up defeating the one alien bot or whatever. Because remember, he works on cars, so he understands mechanics. And he saw at the top of this machine, there's vents and it's venting heat or whatever. So he jams a bunch of rocks down in the vents and then the thing breaks.
Mhm.
And that's why I wrote, "I'm pretty sure aliens aren't as dumb as humans. They would not have some sort of venting happening." When have you seen a story about seeing an alien aircraft or machine and there were vents on it? No,
Right. No.
they're not stupid enough to have vents on their machines. Okay?
I
And
mean,
then,
one can assume that they are light years ahead of us
yes,
with their technology.
literally and figuratively.
Literally.
And then at the end, okay, he walks up to the camp carrying an injured person and he just starts walking through the camp. And I wrote, they would have seen him coming a mile away. They wouldn't just
Mhm.
let a random person walk around a military camp carrying another person without noticing them a long time
Right.
ago. Like,
Yes.
this is
You can't
so
just stroll in.
fucking stupid. Anyway, so those are my notes. And then I also just get very angry and indignant about the glorification of war and the
Okay.
glorification of military. Go ahead, Janet.
And so before Rachel
Goes.
expresses her righteous indignation, I would like to formally state that I've been traveling for work for a couple of
Mhm.
weeks, and I am old and tired,
You're not old.
and do not I mean, getting there. I do not currently have the emotional energy to work up to similar righteous indignation,
Mhm.
even though I do deep down in my soul share it with Rachel.
Mhm.
So I will give her the floor to express her feelings from her mouth hole to everyone's ear holes.
Yes. Thank you, Janet.
You're
I
welcome.
trust me, I have enough feminine rage for all of us, okay? Janet included. I'm so annoyed. So I'm going to scream about things for a few minutes here. And one of the reasons this movie really pissed me off is because of what our current administration is doing in Iran right now. Bombing Iran, bombing civilians, um, bombing a girls' school that killed 180 children, things like that. So when I see movies that glorify war, now to be fair, this movie was against aliens. So,
Mhm.
and that's kind of why we said at the top of the show, do you think we could ever defeat aliens? And obviously, right now, no, of course we could not because we are so stupid and inept. And our administration is the dumbest it's ever been. And Pete Hegseth is just laughably stupid. And the rest of them, honestly, it's really bonkers. But I also get very irritated with military movies, and shows because the things that we're doing to people. And I looked up statistics about this because it really bothers me, this glorification thing. The majority of people that enlist in the military are men. So 78 to 82% and about 18 to 22% men enlistees versus women enlistees. Usually they're very young. Typical enlistment age is 18 to 24. So most people join right after high school. The majority, it is a racially diverse population, but the majority of folks in the military are white at 67%. About 20% are black or African American, 17% Hispanic, about 4% Asian, and then other or multiracial is about 9%. Education, 65% of enlisted personnel have a high school diploma or GED. Socio and economic background. This is the part, well, all of it pisses me off, but this is the part. The majority of enlistees come from middle and lower class or lower income household, and most come from rural or southern regions.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And a lot of people that enlist also have a family history of military service. So they're kind of, carrying on the legacy or whatever, which is terrible. I mean, and I say that with respect, okay? I have generations of military service in my family history as well, including currently, I have a cousin that is a major in the Army. She is a badass. But the fact that for a lot of people in the United States, joining the military is one of the few ways to get out of poverty, right? So a lot of these kids are coming out of high school. They can't afford college. They don't know what they're going to do because they can't afford to do that. So they go into the military and then maybe they die. No big deal. But they go into the military because they are guaranteed food, they're guaranteed housing, they're guaranteed income, a steady income if they live. If they survive their military experience, then they can go to college. They're supposed to have benefits for the rest of their life after they retire, but we're seeing right now with the current administration, they're cutting VA. I think it was just last week, they just fired like a huge percentage of the doctors and like the healthcare workers that work at VA hospitals. So there's already very long wait times for veterans to get an appointment and to receive care through the VA. That's just going to get worse. We're not giving them proper mental health services after they're finished with their service, which, the PTSD is astounding. Imagine the things that they see. Think about right now what's going on with Iran, right? We're sending troops over there. They're seeing their friends get killed and murdered. They're seeing us and Israel bomb hospitals because that's what they're doing right now. They're bombing hospitals. They're bombing schools. Imagine going over and seeing the dead bodies of children laid around. How badly will that fuck you up?
Really badly.
Very badly, okay? So this is why I hate the glorification of war in movies. Because guess what? We don't have to go to war.
Right.
We don't have to go to war.
The solution.
No. There's other things that could be done besides war. But we feed this war machine, our own war machine, okay? Our country is basically a war machine because we give $1 trillion a year to the Pentagon. They have failed audits for the last 8 years. We're preying on poor kids to enlist because we're not giving them any other options as a society to be successful. The minimum wage is still $7.50. You cannot afford a 1-bedroom apartment on the minimum wage. So yeah, they're joining the military to have guaranteed benefits. And these are the, again, no shade, but usually when you're coming from a lower economic or socioeconomic background. And in rural areas, your education probably was not the best, right?
Right.
So you're sending these poor kids that don't have the best education into these horrible, horrible situations. They're either dying or not.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get back, they're not getting the benefits that they're entitled to because our uh, our government keeps cutting those services. So, in my opinion, yes, there is bravery, of course. Oh my gosh, I have so much respect for the people that do this work. I couldn't do it.
Yes.
I could not.
I could never. Did y'all hear the list of differences between me and this character? I could not do it.
No, I could.
That is there are lots of things I could never do unless someone had a gun to my head. So, yes, the fact if you wake up in the morning and you're like, my purpose in life is to serve my country, then all the kudos and accolades and respect to you
Absolutely.
because it's not something I would willingly choose to do.
Correct.
So much respect.
And my rant is not throwing shade on any of our service members. I am throwing shade on the
Mhm.
system. I am
Mhm.
throwing shade on our government and our policies and the bullshit that they do. And
Yep.
you know what? Oh my gosh, what did Hegseth say? We're asking something about like we're asking families to provide their greatest asset for the safety of the country, meaning their children to go to war.
Mhm.
No, these are humans. They're not property. These are human beings that you're sending to war. And that's
They're not assets.
correct. That's not like, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. And then, not to mention, since all of this started in Iran, and I was telling Janet this before we started recording, over 200 U.S. service members have filed complaints about military leaders allegedly framing the current conflict with Iran as a religious event tied to the biblical end times. They're telling their troops that this is part of God's divine plan and it's connected to Armageddon, the biblical end times, and it's linked to the return of Jesus. Are you fucking kidding me right now? So, anyways, the fact that this movie came out at this point in time in our country's shenanigans, I was fuming watching this movie for so many different reasons, but especially those reasons. Because we've already had service members that have died. I mean, Iran, as a response to us attacking them, has been bombing U.S. embassies, has been bombing our, military bases. Okay?
Mhm.
We could have avoided this if we didn't bomb them first. Hey, guess what? Iran wouldn't have bombed us if we didn't bomb them first. So, anyways, I hate movies that glorify war.
There you go.
End rant. I am so
Thank you for your time
angry.
today. There will be a 5-minute Q&A session
Yes, you know what, dear listeners,
followed by snacks.
if you made it this far in my rant, I appreciate you listening. I had to get it out there into the airwaves, radio waves, whatever waves are happening to your ear holes, because it makes me feel very angry. Janet.
Well, and to believe that all of this came from me texting Rachel saying, huh, Jack Reacher's in a new movie on Netflix. And here we are. I didn't really know what it was about either when I watched it. So,
Yeah, she made me watch it.
yeah.
Janet. I blame Janet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all my fault. I will take full responsibility
No.
for everything.
You know what it is, dear listener? It's because I'm so busy and I've been also traveling for work the last 2 weeks. also. So my brain is not working. And I was like, Janet, just pick something and I'll watch it and we'll talk about it. And this is the result. So
And Rachel never did that again.
I
I am not to be trusted.
She cannot be trusted. But Janet, I do have a question to ask you that we ask every episode.
Bring it. Bring it.
Should I watch War Machine? Came out March 2026.
No. Don't waste your time.
Solid take.
Absolutely not. Abso-smurfly not.
Abso-smurfly, yeah.
And Rachel, I wasn't completely confident that I understood your take on it. So, should I watch that?
No, my gosh. There's so much better things you could be doing with your time. Literally, if you sat on the toilet for that amount of time, it would be better served than watching this movie.
If you got a root canal during that time, that's probably a better option.
Way less painful, honestly.
Or like maybe pick a splinter out of your finger or something. I don't know. Like, there are a lot of things. Change the cat litter. Like, so many things you could do with your time.
Which we hate doing.
That would be less painful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Exactly. All right. So, from our mouth holes to your ear holes.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate you.
See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
This episode was produced by Ryan Myrick.
Follow us on Instagram at Should I Watch That 25 and on Facebook at Should I Watch That.
Email us at shouldIwatchthat25@gmail.com.
Like, follow, and review wherever you listen to us.
Or wherever you cast your pods. Thanks.
Thank you.